So, this is Wednesday evening, day 3, between day 3 and 4 of my water fast. I haven't eaten since Sunday morning, now it's Wednesday evening. The weather is beautiful, I'm here at the park, and the sun is shining, and I haven't felt this good since last year's fast. And it's incredible that after all I've been through, this kind of light is still able to be found and it has not been buried. Yeah. But it takes so much in order to keep this one in spirit. I don't know what the word is. In order to keep this one free. I think free is the word, because free implies that I'm not caught up in anything. And that is it. Because I felt like I was so caught up in the pain. Just the pure pain. Forget all the stress. Forget all the stuff that accumulates and things I have to do and responsibilities and stuff like that. Just the pure pain physically was so heavy that I almost want to turn it off. I almost want to turn myself off, not it. I'll turn it off by turning myself off. I mean, I don't mean just pain of working physically in construction and stuff like that, but I mean like the pain of loneliness, the pain of being misunderstood, the pain of being looked down upon. All these things, they're so physical. You know, it's not just like someone told you that your favorite pizza is not their favorite pizza. It's something so deep. And it really affects people. This kind of like trauma, PTSD kind of stuff that really like is so easy to take the human and fully get caught up in this whole rat race, maybe sweeping the desert, just doing something in order to do something and not really getting anywhere. You know, sweeping the desert is that metaphor where you just sweep, you're doing something. It looks like you're busy, you are amazing, you look like productive, hardworking, and you're not just like some guy sitting around smoking in the corner. But actually, the guy smoking in the corner is probably better than you, because at least he has a chance to do something or think or be occupied with something else or move on to something that produces something. Maybe sweeping the desert also keeps you active, gives you a good workout, keeps you in the game. So, it's both, but I've just been through so much. Just getting yelled at and people telling me what to do, having to do it just out of my own will. I like subject myself to the hierarchy, and I say like, yes, let's do a good job. I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna give my best and I'm gonna really give my all to this machine. It wasn't just me being forced into it. Some part of me also like embraced it, dove in, like not just embraced it, but like fucking leaped into it, you know? And or leapt, that might be more grammatical. The fear is one of the main things here. The fear of not doing enough, the fear of people not seeing me as enough, The fear of me not being able to be someone that I feel I'm proud of. The fear of not making it as I work, that somehow what I'm doing is not good enough, and then it won't lead me to where I want to go. And all this fear, all the fear I had, created a desire that was corrupted in a way, because it spawned out of the fear. And that desire was image based. Like, I wanted ego, kind of like I want to look like I'm busy. I want to look like I'm doing good. I want to look strong and, like, puff out my chest and be like some strong guy in this construction place and in whatever, in these job markets, that this guy can't just talk to me like this. I'm going to speak to him too. And this manager here can't just say that. Like, I'm going to fucking tell him what I want and all this stuff. And having that experience of fear and desire, I even wanted, like, everywhere I went, I would, like, tense myself in order to look a certain way and give off a certain energy. And I would notice that the attention towards me would shift when I would portray myself like that. Like, perhaps for you, the viewer, if I sit like this, you feel like it's different than if I sit like this. But it's just an image. Like, the actual being is one and the same, no difference. But the way we portray ourselves, I guess, expresses who we are. So that's what it became about. It became about portraying an image that I'm already there, or that I am this guy who's able to or wants to engage, or is, like, super cool. Like, I'm the cool guy. Yeah, I really wanted to be the cool guy. That's it. Or I wanted attention, validation, stuff like that. And that desire destroyed me, because in order to put on the image that I am the cool guy, or that I'm cooler than I am, or that I'm ahead of where I actually am, the price was disregarding my own experience. And instead of being true to my experience, I was true to what the image dictates. With being the cool guy means I'm not gonna, like, leave the job, or I'm not gonna tell this guy that I can't do this, or I can't tell this guy I don't know what this is, or not be able to afford something, or not to get attention from people that I thought were attractive. All this stuff. Like, all the actions started spinning around validating my image, I guess. And those actions were dishonest to the experience that I am, to my being, to the felt moment. Like, if I feel pain in my shoulder and I say, like, no, I'm not gonna listen to that, I'm gonna do this. Not in the sense of, like, pushing myself towards my peak, but in the sense of overly exerting for purely egoistic reasons. Like some guy who just keeps going and hard, he hurts himself just because it looks cool. And it's like, dude, it would be a lot cooler if you were just happy and, like, healthy and able to be yourself here and express your greatness without hanging yourself in the process. You don't have to fly by hanging yourself. That's not even flying. But that's what we do. Like, look at me. I'm levitating. I'm not on the ground. But there's a noose here. And I'm just die. It's like, what? But that's what I did. And now I'm waking up out of it. It's so painful. My whole body is just reeling. My whole nervous system is just barely recovering from all the intensity and betrayal that I put it through. It may not trust me anymore. because it's aware. It's me. It's conscious. This system is conscious. It's me. So when I am not honest with this, then I lose my own trust, and therefore what happens is pure dysfunction. It separates. And then there becomes like this division and stuff like that. And that's maybe why people get like illness, or people get like ill, cancer or something. I don't know if that makes real sense. Because obviously cancer is also caused by so many things. But and we don't even understand a lot of this stuff. But the idea that I create a schism within myself between the image and who I actually am experientially, and then stay true to the image instead of being myself, and lose my own trust and destroy my body in the process, seems like the way to purely like abject wreck of a life. And it's so painful to not be the image that I want to be. Maybe it's that insecurity and the fear being addressed by that is so amazing. But I don't want, but I think a little patience and faith comes in handy. And maybe some love, like having the right people around, feeling some self-love. I don't know how to address that fear, that insecurity in someone who doesn't have a ground to foster, like a fertile soil to plant that seed of love and to plant that seed of self-validation and authenticity to one's experience in the felt moment. Because it's too scary to do it entirely alone if there's no good start. Like, everybody needs some kind of foundation. And so where does the foundation come from, or how do we build it in order to step out of the fear and not just to be an image that is betraying ourselves and wasting our potential and wrecking our lives, wrecking my life? How do I build that foundation where I'm not that scared? I think fear is like mold. The more you hide it, the more it fosters. And so when I think of this, the more I turn away from my own fear and I don't face it in the day-to-day, and when I come back home and I'm like in this weird state of mind and I'm all over the place, I just turn myself off with smoke or drink or massive amount of food or calling my girl or something, some kind of distractions, any kind of impulse or cause and effect action in order to escape that concern that things are not okay, that I am struggling, that I'm scared. I don't think that drinking and smoking and talking to my girl is a problem, but I think the problem is using those things to hide the fear. If the fear is not hidden, all those things are fine. Everything is okay. Because it's healthy. When we're healthy, I'm myself, I'm able to be my honest, authentic being and keep my own trust and build and grow towards my potential. But the way to face the fear is some kind of meditation or ritualistic, like practice, some kind of practice, like just sitting with it, talking about it. I think talking about fear, just like mold, when you speak about, when you expose it, when you put it out in the open, it diminishes. It loses vitality. It starts to wither. So I think talking about our fear, at least with ourselves, like maybe you can even write or journal or make a video. You don't have to publish it or do something. But I think creating some channel where that fear can have a voice that is then heard. And I think it helps the more that there's people involved, but they have to be the right people. You know, you don't take any person into this kind of position. You know, you don't give the physics equation of relativity to some person that's just sitting in a corner doing nothing, because they're not going to do anything with it. They're going to betray the value that this thing is, in a way. Like the two pieces have to be matching or on some kind of frequency that is appropriate or aligned, you know, so that when you expose your fear, there is understanding, or there is relating, or there is at least you feel seen, or at least you feel not judged. I think that's the bare minimum, is you don't feel worse expressing it, opening it up, rather than better, or at least neutral. So you shouldn't feel worse. So wherever you can express it where it doesn't come back in a negative way, I think that's the place where you can express fear. And just by talking about it to the right people, that fear diminishes. There is a deeper sense of authenticity and connection with the self, and what? Authenticity, connecting with oneself. And then that becomes the foundation. That becomes the foundation for someone to be able to be themselves, be happy, and actualize their potential, rather than fly by hanging themselves. Don't fly by hanging myself. That's a stupid way to fly. And it's not worth it. Stay on the fucking ground and practice those wings. There are some wings in here, you know? Everybody's got something. If you're listening to this, if something here is working and you feel something here, you got wings. So don't be scared to turn it on and practice and explore potential and dream about getting to the top without using a rope to hang yourself. That's pretty cool. Just some thoughts. I am planning to go until Friday morning when I plan to break my fast. I also plan on which is in a couple, like 36 hours. It's gonna be beautiful. And I plan on starting an incredible kind of work with carpentry very soon, in order to start building, learning how to make stuff, and learn the skills that I could then take and build some cool shit with. Because my dream is to make a place where people can come and live authentically and have a great relationship with themselves and with this world. They don't need to sacrifice themselves for something. If you want to sacrifice out of your own passion, then that's beautiful. You're free to do everything. You're free to be yourself. And you're free to express your full being. I love you all, and I wish you all the best. I know things are really rough right now, and this world is going through a crazy kind of transformation right now, and it's gonna keep being really, really crazy, and it's gonna be really, really hard until we get to the breakthrough. Well, that's not that close just yet. It's gonna be a little bit further away. But you never know, because this shit happens like that. So it's important between now and then. The only thing we have to do is just take the step, or stand on the step that we're on right now the best we can, and take the next step the best we can. Whatever is the next step for you. If the next step is eating something, if it's talking to someone, if it's finding a job, if it's considering a different lifestyle, if it's communicating with your partner, if it's just smoking a cigarette. Put your being into it. Do it with love. And that's all. The responsibility that we really have is just do our best. And if it's really hard and sometimes we fail, that's okay too. Because this is not about being perfect. It's about being. Instead of lying, deceiving myself, pretending to be some image, becoming an idol, idolizing myself as some object. And an object is not alive, it starts dying. So don't kill yourself by becoming an image. Stay true.